All right, the first thing I'm going to show you is viewing room etiquette is how you bring someone to the viewing room. It's very important that you make the art look valuable. If you pull it down and just walk like this, it looks like it's worth nothing. But if you bring it down, and as you follow me, you always keep the image facing towards the consumer as you walk into the viewing room. It seems like a minor little thing, but you're keeping the image in their view, of which they'll keep looking at as they follow, and also you're making it look valuable. Okay, a couple things about when you get clients in the viewing room. Make sure that they sit down. If they don't sit down, they're still in an uncomfortable position. The most important thing about viewing room etiquette is stay in control of the sale. At all times, you want to face your people, you want to remain eye contact with them, but if you can get them to sit down, they're going to get more relaxed. Easiest way of getting them relaxed is playing the video on the TV of whatever their favorite artist is, whichever one they're looking at. So if you can play the video, they will sit down and watch the video. Now you got them relaxed. Because this humanizes an artist. Go get a presentation one time at another gallery. They'll tell you all about the artist, but you got a theoretical person you're looking at in your head. Here I'm giving you an actual person that you get to see, know who they are, so when I talk about the artist, they now have the item in their face. The artist's face is very important. I say this all the time. Can you name every Snoop Dogg song? No. But you can see Snoop Dogg's face with every single Snoop Dogg song that he ever plays. Play the artist. Humanize them. Now when they're talking about the artist, they'll have an understanding of it. The second portion of the viewing room is making sure that you're in control of your lighting systems. I have the lighting systems always by the door so you can easily access those lighting systems and give them a very romantic time. Now, this is the most important thing that you can ever do in the viewing room, is you want to make it a story. You want to romance the art, making them fall in love. Remember, we sell something no one needs, so you better make them love it, and that's how they'll buy. There's 3 steps to a sale. Is it a pretty picture? Can I afford it? Did it feel like a good deal? If those are yes on all, it's always a sale. So let's make it a pretty picture. And we do that by the viewing room. I always talk about the difference between front lights and back lights. I put the front lights on and I say, this is what it looks like in the evening time in your home when you have your home lights on. And I slowly dim down the image. And as I'm dimming it down, I bring my voice down. This is me controlling the sale. And this is where I start talking about the beauty of the image. Look how beautiful it is. Isn't it unbelievable how the colors roll throughout this? Nodding my head at all times. This I call the bobblehead. All I'm doing is subliminally making them understand we're going to say yes at some point. They don't know it, but they're gonna. So I'll say, isn't this beautiful? Just imagine this on your wall. That is called a buying signal. I'm assuming the sale. I'm assuming they already have it at their house, and I'm putting it in their heads. So just imagine this on the wall in your home. In the evening time, you dim it down, you got a little glass of wine, a little jazz playing, just looking up and just watching the image change. And it's so cool how it changes throughout the day. So I'm going to turn off these backlights here. Pretty, huh? Now during the daytime, you're actually going to get a different look to your piece. So this is as natural light comes in through your house. So you know how light changes throughout your house throughout the day? Nodding the head. If you can continue to nod the head, you're going to subliminally tell them yes. And this is a proven fact because they actually made it illegal at drive-in theaters that they used to plop 1 frame in every few seconds up for 5 minutes leading up to the time of the intermission. And it was 1 frame of popcorn and Coca-Cola. And they found that their popcorn and Coca-Cola sales jumped 91% by popping a frame in. You never see it, but your brain registered it and you're like, damn, I wish I had a popcorn and a Coke right now. And they made it illegal. But this isn't illegal. Nod your head. Just keep nodding that head. All right, so now you've romanced the artwork. You've brought your voice down. You told the story. And now we're going to make them buy it. All right, at this portion, you're going to do your light effects with your color wall. I put these in the gallery for a reason. I spent $35,000 doing this. No one else has ever done it before. But this is going to change the dynamic of art. So the reason why I put these color walls in is it's for the first time for very inexpensive. 2 lights and a track system is about $135 installed. But you can change the mood of your art. All of my art does different things under different lighting conditions. So you can change it from your phone very simply. Make sure that your other lights are off on this thing, and now you're going to romance the story as a color wheel. So you could talk about, isn't this really pretty? Well, this is a really cool thing you can get in your house. It's about $175 for this system on it, but you can actually change the mood of your light. Remember how I just told you about how you little jazz, little whine? This is really going to impress your friends when this is on in your wall. Assume the sale. See, assumed it. All right, so I'm going to change the color on this. Now, some things I'd like you to notice. You see how you have blues, you have pinks, you have orange and yellows throughout this piece, and a little bit of teal. Now, this is the most important part of any viewing room presentation, is you're going to continue to talk about the art until they ask you how much. They will. If you're romancing it enough and you're annoying them enough, they're going to try to get it out by asking you a question. Most of the time they go, and how much is it? I'm glad you asked. Pull your price tag. It's $1,400. Now, if you're watching on this camera right here, they're squirming like worms right now. This is called the Dave Dead Shark close. Whenever you throw a price, go a little dead inside with your eyes, like you die a little bit more each day. Like when you go home, your kids don't like you and your spouse ignores you and you just like want to die every day. Do that in your head. If you stare them down while you say that and you throw a price, do not say another word. First one that speaks loses. And he'll finally go, well, okay, that's good. And the second they talk, they're always going to say no. You want the no. Good, because we're going to find out what the real objection of why they don't want to buy it. Is it a pretty picture? If that's it, I'm in with the wrong image. Like, yeah, it's just not what we like. Oh, perfect. Let's get you to walk around and pick out something else. They'll go, yeah, it's going to be something that we need to think about. Oh, great. Here, I'm going to let you guys think about it. I'm going to get you a glass of water. Shut the door. Lock them in there. Go back to the back, look on the camera system because you'll be able to see them and you can watch their body languages. If they're closed up, they'll be looking around like this, like what the hell just happened? That's a good one too. But then you'll see them, the guy will get up or his wife will get up and they'll actually look at the image. That's a buying signal. It's telling you that there is some interest in this piece. But let's assume that they do like the thing. They're like, yeah, just not really, we're not ready to buy art. Now you're going to overcome your objections. This part is very, very important. Now you're going to get down on your knees next to the viewing room. You're going to keep your voice soft. I'm down, it's more of a submissive position, and now I'm going to be asking for the money over and over. And I always say, whatever objection you can get, you can overcome. Except, are you guys hiring? That's not a good objection. You didn't qualify before coming in. But if someone says, yeah, we weren't thinking about buying art today, say this. I know, no one wakes up in the morning and says, I think I'm going to go buy art. You know, art works different than anything else. It's something you see that's unbelievably beautiful. It kind of captures you, and you just get it done. Because who wakes up and says, I think we should go buy art? So that's not how it works. But what I'm going to show you is this. This is when you're going to begin your T-bar. So we said $1,400, right? Off the start. This is where you're going to put it into numbers. Say, okay, well that piece right there, like I said, was $1,400, but I'm doing something very special. Remember how I said it was $175 for those lights? I'm going to take that off the top. We're actually going to take off $200. So we're now at $1,200 on this thing, okay? So what you're going to do is put $200 down, and then you're going to pay $100 a month for 12 months, and it's interest-free. I just got a buying signal. She said that's not bad. You're always going to assume that this is a finance, because if you can assume a finance, well, yeah, $100 a month, yeah, it's going to be something that we can think about. I know, but what do you think about? You like the image, right?
Right.
Right? Can you afford $100 a month?
Yes.
I mean, it's interest-free on that thing. Would you pay by finance? Most of the time they will say, no, I wouldn't pay by finance. Oh, God, well, I wish I had known that. Okay, that changes the whole dynamic. This is how we finance at interest-free. The company takes the money from me. So they take 10% from me. So if you're willing to not finance and put it on a card today, and we're talking at $1,200 on that thing, I can actually knock another 10% off of that. So we're at actually $1,080.
Interest-free?
Well, in the financing, they take interest-free financing. This will cost you $100 a month for 12 months. The reason why it's interest-free to you is because they take 10% of the sale from me. So I would rather give this 10% to you. I don't want a finance company. I want you to like this. So now we're talking $1,080 on that thing, and then with shipping on that, we're going to look at about $100, and we're going to have it to you in 6 to 8 weeks. Stick your hand out. Throwing the hand out is an absolute best close ever, because you can stick your hand out, and they're going to give you whatever other objections they have or not have at that time. You know, oh well, we're going to need to go home and measure. I understand you need to go home and measure, but if you noticed in the gallery, everything's roughly the same sizes. If you look at these square images here and that one, they're all 30 by 30. We're 24 by 36 on this one. This is an 1824. The reason why the art's made at that size is because that's the size of the average wall, so you don't need to go home and measure. I just overcame an objection. They're going to worm and squirm and try to get the fuck out of here as much as possible. But you're required to hear 7 no's. At 7 no's, you can let them out. I don't ever let them out at 7 no's. I'm counting in my head. I usually close in 4. Sometimes 5, sometimes 6. And then sometimes they're just not the type of people that are ready to buy art today, and they just don't like it. That happens. But this is our job, and this is what we do. The T-bar is the most important thing that you can do in a viewing room, because you're putting real numbers in front of those people to see how the payments can go on that. And saying $100 a month is way better than trying to sell something for $1,200. Now it's just $100 a month. It's just $100 a month, interest-free. Interest-free, $100 a month. Can you not afford that? I know that might not be in the budget right now. What can I help you do to get this in the budget? If you've ever bought a new car, you go down to a car lot, they're going to stick you in a room and they're going to do a thing called a Foursquare, because they have another thing called leasing. We just do a T-bar because we only have 3. What they're doing is they're sweating you out. They're breaking you down, and they're going to keep adjusting numbers on this until it's always the same thing. And this is the part where you can get creative. Now, if I'm at $1,080 and the piece was $1,400, I'm only at about 20% discount so far. I still have another 10% that I can play with. Is it the price? See, I can't do any more on the financing. I can't get it below $100 a month. I can work with this a little bit. If I can get this number down to a comfortable range, would you get this piece right now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the
Maybe
easiest.
1,000.
They're chicks. These are the easiest people to sell. Dudes suck. Anyways,
Could you get it to 1,000?
if I can get it to 1,000, you'll get it right now, right?
Right now.
See? Throw the hand out. If they throw a number at you, and this is where you're going to do it at, say, if I can do this right now, would you do it? And then I'll say this. I can't get it to 1,000. Not me personally. But if you give me a credit card, I'm going to go call the owner of the company. Just so happens that I went to school with his sister's brother's cousin, uncle, and he really likes me. Make up whatever you need to say at this point. But if they throw an offer at you that's low, no matter if it's within your range, get a credit card from them and say, let me go make a call. Here, you guys enjoy this glass of wine. Let me go try to schmooze the owner and see if I can get it down to 1,000. I'm going to get it down to 1,000. We're going to do it. As you leave the viewing room and you go over and pretend like you're going to call me, do not ever come back and say, congratulations. He said okay. Run the credit card for $1,000 and come back in with the slip and say congratulations. If you don't do that, then they're going to go, okay, well, we're going to think about it. That's why you get the credit card in hand before you step out of the room. If it is a money thing on this, you just have to find that third. We're at pretty picture. Can I afford it? We're at third. Is it a good enough deal? If you can answer this thing, if you can get the deal correct on this, you can go, well, how about this? If you guys put $500 down on this thing, I can move this down to $50 a month, and then I'm going to take the shipping out of that, and I'm going to tack it onto this one, so we're going to do $600 right here. So now we're at $600 and $50 a month. That makes it considerably more reasonable, and so now we're at the same number, right? I didn't do anything. I just moved the money to a different box. I pulled it from here to here to here to here. Start doing math. They taught you all in school, I know. They taught me it in school too. So start doing math in your head and learn how to divide everything into 12 months. Yeah, but we're a little on a budget right now. I'm $50. I don't know if we could do that. Oh, well, I completely forgot. We have 18-month interest-free financing, so that's going to break this down to $38 a month.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing? So I save my 18-month to $1, drop the dollar amount on it here. All of these things are important. Every single step along the way is important. And if you're a new consultant and this is your first time doing this, wait for some kids to walk in, the people you know absolutely can't buy, and just fuck with them. I mean, get them in the viewing room, go anything. Well, if I can do it at $22.30 a month, and I do it for 16 months, kids like, oh, but I'm in high school. That's all right. If you're in high school and if you go get an extra paper route and you go work down at Denny's, and you can make $3.89 an hour on this thing, you can just totally mess with them so you can get them to the point of where the close is fun. When it's people with money, especially when you're talking big dollars on this thing, it's super easy. It's the stuff under $5,000 that's the hardest to sell. Everything that I sell over 50 grand is like simple. I mean, in and out like 5 minutes. Because anybody that can afford 50 grand, they got 100 grand, so it doesn't matter. But really, really super important is messing with the people in the mid-range. And it gets uncomfortable, but put it as a game in your head just to see, I'm gonna get this guy, I'm gonna shake you upside down. This is stuff I say in my head. Oh, every nickel, I'm gonna get your kids' college fund, I'm gonna get your trust fund, I'm gonna get all of this. I do this in my head because it keeps me entertained while I'm doing it, and it makes it a game. Can I win this battle? And I love to win. I love it. I love win. I hate losing more than I like winning. So I'm gonna get this deal. Steps. One after the other. Practice, practice, practice. Practice on your mom at home. Try to get her to buy something. You'll make it back. You get commission off your mom. Just give her commission back to your mom. Just kidding. T-bar. Now, another thing in T-bars. At the top, you're always going to write the client's name. Lady Gaga. I got Lady Gaga here. Gaga was looking at a Roman, and it was whatever the name is. So you look at it, know what the name is. Write it on your piece, and then you're going to put the date, which is 11/17. And after they leave, if they really are a B-back going to do it, take your camera and shoot a picture of your T-bar. This way, if they do come back tomorrow and you're not working and they buy, you get 100% of the sale. You've already got it proven. You did a T-bar, there they are, and on your phone, it always shows the date of the photo. There's your proof. So I don't ever want to call, oh, these people were B-back. Well, did you have a T-bar? Well, no, I didn't have time to do it. Then they're not a B-back. You didn't do your job. Maybe if you had done the full T-bar, you could have got them to buy yesterday and not today. All right, so that's viewing room etiquette and a speedball. I'm going to be breaking down all of these steps for you, into smaller steps, and we'll be going over those at later dates. Thank you. I'm David Smith. Peace out.